WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 5:30.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Sherry Jones. Siobhan has the night off. Let's start the clock on our first 6 minutes of news. In Wayne County, a woman is dead and 2 others are injured after a house exploded just before 6 o'clock this morning. It happened in the Downriver community of Southgate. The 37-year-old woman was buried in the rubble and was rescued, but later died from her injuries. A 38-year-old man was also in the home, and officials say he was thrown clear by the blast and has severe burns. A 60-year-old neighbor was also hurt but refused medical treatment. The cause has not yet been officially announced, but investigators say they do suspect a gas explosion. From fire to water now throughout the Detroit area, neighborhoods were flooded by yesterday's storms. Dearborn Heights was one of those places. People living there told our ABC affiliate in Detroit that they tried and they're tired of the constant flooding there whenever there's heavy rain. Still, others say they are shocked by how much water they saw when they came out of their homes this morning. In Maine, police say a man shot and killed his mom while the two were driving on a rural highway yesterday afternoon. The woman, Christine Smith, was driving the car when it was stopped. Police say 29-year-old James Davis got out and started shooting at other vehicles. In one of those vehicles, a woman was hit and later died at the hospital. 2 men in another vehicle were hit but are expected to survive. Davis then reportedly shot and killed himself. In California, a missing 13-year-old boy's body was found last night along a busy road in the town of Oxnard. Oscar Hernandez was reported missing on Sunday after he did not come home from visiting a friend, according to the Los Angeles Police Department. Police have not yet officially confirmed the body is that of the missing boy, but the family confirmed it to local media.
The family was aware of his destination, and I'm going to kind of leave it at that as part of the investigation. We're currently establishing a timeline of the travels of the subject, and that timeline is not complete.
Detectives say they're talking to several people of interest, and the FBI is also looking into the case. The death toll from the 7.7 earthquake that hit Myanmar last week has increased to 3,145 as of today. Almost 4,600 are injured and 221 people are still missing. Those numbers are from the military-led government, which held a news conference today. Local media has been reporting higher numbers than the official totals. Thousands of buildings were also destroyed. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban announced today that his country will begin the process of leaving the International Criminal Court. The agency has an arrest warrant out for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for war crimes and genocide. Those accusations stem from the Israeli military's conduct in the war against Hamas, which has killed about 50,000 Palestinians. Netanyahu is now visiting Hungary on a trip expected to last through Sunday. This is just his second trip since the ICC announced its warrant last year.
It's important to stand up to this corrupt organization that has equated a democracy that is challenged for its very existence by the most horrific terroristic powers on earth.
Orban, who is accused of cracking down on civil rights in his own country, says the ICC is now a political court. A group of Venezuelans are keeping vigil in front of the El Salvador embassy in Caracas for their loved ones being held in an infamous prison in that country. The U.S. deported more than 200 Venezuelan immigrants to El Salvador under the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, saying they were members of the Tren de Aragua criminal gang. They're being held in a maximum security prison known for its harsh conditions. They have not yet been formally charged with any crimes. The Trump administration announced sweeping tariffs on Wednesday, impacting countries around the world. And those include some unexpected places with tiny populations or sometimes no people at all. The Heard and McDonald Islands in the remote Antarctica are on the list and subject to 10% tariffs. The mostly barren islands between Madagascar and Antarctica have 2 active volcanoes and can be only reached by sea. While no humans may be selling products to America, there are a lot of penguins and seals. Back here in Michigan, Indiana-based Beacon Health System announced today it's acquiring Ascension, Michigan's southwest region of hospitals and clinics. That includes hospitals in Allegan, Dowagiac, Kalamazoo, and Plainwell. 35 outpatient clinics are also part of the sale, along with ambulatory surgery center. The locations will operate under the Beacon name, and Beacon CEO Craig Gruber says there should be little to no disruption of services for patients. The transaction is expected to be done by summer. Well, the Trump administration's cuts to the federal government are likely to impact one of already least visited national parks in America, Isle Royale. The Lake Superior Island is reachable only by boat, and according to the National Parks Traveler, crew members staffing the largest ferry to the island accepted federal buyouts pushed by the White House. Because of a federal hiring freeze, the park cannot hire anyone to replace them. In Colorado, a dog actually traveling in a car excitedly leapt out and then ran straight for the canyon and fell about 100 feet onto a ledge. The Mesa County Search and Rescue team deployed to get help and get that dog back to her owners, and they say she only had scrapes and some minor bumps, but she was still taken to the vet just to be sure. Wrapping up our first 6 minutes of news, engineers with Northwestern University just revealed what they say is the world's smallest pacemaker. Check it out. It is about the size of a rice of grain and can be injected into the body with a syringe. A small wireless device is worn on the outside of the chest, and when it detects an irregular heartbeat, it sends light pulses to the pacemaker to activate it. The engineers say the pacemaker will even dissolve once it is no longer needed. That's pretty amazing technology. It's truly life-saving technology.
Yeah, my oldest nephew has a pacemaker, and that was his biggest thing, was that people could see it. So now to have something like that's really cool.
And I know that maybe they have to go back in every now and then, so maybe he can get that one.
Exactly. We'll let him know.
Pretty awesome.
Well, we got to let you know about some rain that we have returning to the forecast as well, Sherry. Good news with this one is no severe weather expected.
Very good. Thanks for that, Kendall. Well, Kevin Bacon is back on TV, and the Fountain of Youth is the focus of an epic adventure. We'll show you some previews of those and much more entertainment options in this week's Popcorn Picks. Keep it right here, 6 News at 5:30. We'll be right back.